back to my channel. This is the third part of my video journal on finding happiness in the midst of being a busy mom. I have my 2-year-old with me, and he's probably going to kick the tripod about 17 times. So I have to apologize for that in advance. I don't think there's any video stabilization software that can help with a footsie 2-year-old. And so, and today I wanted to speak about something that had, and show you my bra. Holy cow. Today I wanted to speak about something that had a profound impact in my ability to find happiness in my family. And that's, it will sound, it's as old as the world really, and that's self-knowledge. I find that for a long time when I was unhappy, when I was tapped out, and when when I was really struggling, I would look at people who seemed to me like they had it all together. And by had it all together, I don't want to mean somebody who looked perfect. I think we're smart enough to know that everybody can fake it, but there were people whose lives had certain attributes that I admired. And then I thought, maybe if I'm more like this person, I'll be happier. Because often there were things that were lacking from my life. And so then I try to make myself into somebody that I was not. And then I'd end up, more drained, less happy, even less the person I wanted to be. And so when I was pregnant with my twins, which that was in 2011, and they are my babies number 7 and 8, I read a book about the 4 basic temperaments. And in my video series about sibling relationship, there is one video that is dedicated to temperament. So instead of unpacking temperaments in this video, I'm just going to mention it in passing and invite you to go and check that video on the 4 basic temperaments. Your temperament is your inborn patterns of reaction. And so what I found is that once I learned about my temperament, I was able, you're not going to find boobs on this side, buddy. When I learned about my temperament, it really explained a lot about why I couldn't be like certain people that I really admired, right? I'm going to give you some examples from my experience in the hope that, if you don't have the same temperament as I do, you're going to have to find out what yours is to see how this is applicable to you. Like, it's not going to apply word for word to your life, but I just want to illustrate how important it is to know your temperament in order to get along better with the people in your life, whether it's your spouse, your children, your boss, your neighbor, whatever, or anybody, your mom probably. Your temperament is whether you are an introvert, somebody who processes feelings inwardly, or an extrovert. It has nothing to do with whether you're chatty or not. I'm an introvert. And whether you're a principle-driven person, whether you're motivated by principles and rules, or whether you're a relationship-driven person, if you're a person who is motivated by harmony and relationship and people. So I am an introvert who is relationship-driven. Because I'm an introvert and I process things inwardly, I need a lot of time to process things. I'm not talking things out. And so what this means is that I get overwhelmed easily. And then when I get overwhelmed, my brain shuts down. It just shuts down, like it's just too much stimuli. And so I'm married to the quintessential type A personality, and my husband can do more in a day than I can do in a week. And he's motivated by achievement, whereas I get overwhelmed, like the challenge motivates him, whereas too big a challenge will bring me down. So that's where I learned that actually it's normal for somebody like me to need a lot of breaks, right? So if I want to achieve more, I need to break down the goals smaller, right? I don't do well with lofty goals. I need bite-sized pieces, and then I can achieve more, right? And so that self-knowledge has allowed me to grow in my ability to reach to set goals that I can actually achieve. And because I'm also like I'm a, I have ambitions, I have dreams. Being able to achieve things in the context of being a mom, that has made me happier, right? Because I don't always feel like I'm chasing my tail, because I understand how I work. Now, will I ever do as much as a choleric type A personality in my entire existence? No, no. And that's also self knowledge and self acceptance. Reading about temperaments has allowed me to see that we're all built differently, right? And we all have a gift to bring to the world. And so in the context of parenting, for instance, I'd read books about sorry, there's black flies. I'd read books about discipline, right? And some of them are really like, you got to be the boss. You got to show the kids who's the boss and da da da. And for me, whenever I've tried to implement these discipline solutions, the wheels would come off, right? Because I'm a relationship driven person, right? When I'm this monster in my children's lives, this sort of slave driver and drill sergeant, I don't do well, right? I cannot live with that kind of negativity in my relationship with my children. So that's the first aspect, is acknowledging that. But then you also see that this is also a strength, right? So relationships are my strength. So I cannot get my children to do what I ask by the sheer power of my will, but I can do it through relationship. I can do it through having a strong relationship, and that's what I'm good at, right? So it's not just a liability, it's also a talent. And so when I switch the focus from trying to be a disciplinarian who gets shit done to building relationship with my children, with my teenagers, everything started falling into place in a much more harmonious way. I still have discipline issues. Like, my kids don't listen to me, basically. Like, I have to ask a lot, and I have to get angry often for anything to get done. It's not, I don't want to say that I found the magic bullet and now everything works well. But in the middle of that lack of obedience that is plaguing my days, I have a strong relationship with my children, especially with my teenagers, which is my greatest joy. And as a phlegmatic, as an introvert who is relationship driven, that harmonious relationship means a lot more to my personal happiness than being a drill sergeant that is immediately obeyed. Got it? There's a bird in a tree, but I think it's actually a porcupine, and my dog's about to have a fit. So I'm going to leave you on that, and she's tied up. If you know our porcupine adventures, my dog got porcupined 2 weeks ago. $500 at the vet. Next time, I'm told to use pliers and a bottle of gin. Thank you for listening. Talk to you soon.